Today we're analyzing 2 Augusta properties under $110,000 to see if it makes sense for an out-of-town investor client. Property number 1 looks like it has some really good cash flow. It just looked like it needs a little bit more work. Property number 2 looks really good in the pictures and look like it's a little more move-in ready where he can just come in and start making money. If you don't mind, I'm just going to treat you like you're the client and we're going to walk through these properties. I'm going to point out everything that I see through the eyes of an investor. So that way you can start calculating whether or not the numbers make sense and what type of repair and if you feel comfortable moving forward with a deal like this. All right, first property, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Sorry, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1244 square feet. Currently listed at $88 per square foot, built in 63. All right, so right there, main road, Windsor Spring. So we're right off of the road, like literally 2 houses from the corner there. I do see this long driveway, converted garage. I guess at one point it did have a garage, or maybe not, because when I was inside, I saw the fireplace in there. So it might have just been the design like that. Carport, extended concrete here for extended driveway. All right, so big tree here, but it doesn't look like it'll affect the property right now. I feel like it's far enough. All right, obviously need some landscaping, very light landscaping. Let's start on the outside and just see what we can pick up. Water spigot right there. So I noticed that the windows were double pane. Okay, here you go. You got some siding here. No, fascia and soffit don't look bad. And actually the roof, let's see if the sun let me show you. Oh, I don't know, you might be able to see better than me, but the sun is blinding me right now. Roof didn't look bad. I can find out the year of that. Window broken right here. And so you may be able to just get this bottom piece changed. See? This one's fine at the top. Right, and pressure washing the exterior for sure. Yeah, pressure washing. So on the inside, I noticed that the fireplace was actually boarded up. So we just have to check, make sure there's no problems there if you want to open that back up. I'll show you from the inside. I had to leave that door open going to the laundry room because that light did not work in there. So I'll show you when I get inside, but I'm looking at the brick. I don't really see any issues. I see here, this will have to get redone. You have this big gate here. Nice yard. Yard is large. Really like the yard. Big tree there. Obviously that conveys with the property, the shed there. It may not be pretty, but it is. The fence works and it's closed. Looking at the neighbors, always pay attention to that because it will affect your value. They keeping up with their stuff. Yep, nice and clean. They looking good. All right, again, back to the brick. Looking at the brick, I don't see any signs of foundation issues. Any cracks on the brick will be a red flag for me. Obviously, get this cleaned up. It's up to you if you want to keep that. If you're flipping it, I will get rid of it. But if not, you want to keep it, or if it's for rental, I'll leave it alone. Okay. Oh, I noticed over there one of those light fixtures that's next to the laundry room that does not work. Okay, over here, all the doors. I feel like you're gonna have to replace all the doors and the framing around the doors. Definitely look at that. All right, let's see what else we find over here. Water spigot. Again, windows are good. Yeah. This here got to get trimmed up. Yeah, so I can't get to the other side. Enter to the front door and I'll go over there because that side has the HVAC. So I'll go ahead and get you there real quick so that you can check that out. Pressure washing would make that look pretty again. All right. Again, so far not bad. Normal things that you can expect to change at a house at 110. Oh, I see a little, had to touch that up there. Okay, so you got a big boy here. It's running, it work is cool inside when I went in there. But definitely I will have to get this thing serviced and doing your home inspection to let you know what is the age. But again, finish glancing at the brick. I don't see any foundation issues or nothing alarming on the outside. Change the window, clean up, yard maintenance. We already know we got to do all those things. All right, quickly, moving inside. You can keep that if you want to. It's in good shape. Need some pressure washing. This does not work actually, so you might want to get that changed. All right, let's see. First thing you see, as soon as you, matter of fact, before you see anything, you smell it. And it smelled like water, so there was water in here. It smelled moldy. It has that damp smell. And that paired with the fact that it was probably been locked up and they haven't aired out the house. And then you can see some signs there in the flooring, the old flooring. All the floors have to be replaced. I would say here in the baseboards as well. Nothing scary. I've seen worse. But it's up to your comfort level for sure. I did see this. If you notice how it's like a different color here, some discoloration. So I will get the electrical checked, especially when you have two rooms that the lights didn't turn on. So you want to make sure that everything's grounded, that it's not causing any problem. There goes the fireplace. Like I told you, it was not. It was boarded up. And then I see that there's some discoloration here. It may or may not be a problem, but it looked like maybe there was some sort of fire issue here that happened. And you just want to get that checked. Regardless, whatever you're going to do in the future, you want to get a sweep, and it is valuable if it works. So if not, it's just taking space because it is massive over here with all of this stone here. So that door leads to the outside. Okay, but overall, this space here, very, very good space. If at one point this had a garage, which I don't think so because of the fireplace, is what makes me feel like there wasn't a garage in here. But this is that part that outside has the siding, and that's vinyl siding out there. The rest is brick, but that area there is vinyl siding, which differentiates the space. Or maybe in addition, not exactly sure. But yeah, it is open, and that is fabulous. That would look really good once the flooring and the paint happens. Okay, more flooring issues here. We already know that. The dining space here. Okay, and here in this room, you have more of a coat closet. So then you can see the little dots on the wall there. So we want to get that checked out. Obviously, with a lot of friends, little bugs all over the place. All right, and you can see where I think dogs probably were chewing here in the baseboards and around the window and molding, so around the door. So that is all of that. You have to address all of that. Paint. So far, paint, flooring, molding, and we're seeing here the cabinets. Before I look at anything else, I like the cabinets. Solid. This good material. I feel like easily you can refresh this by changing these. Even though it's at an angle like this, now you can, once you paint it, you can putty that and you won't even see that there were holes there, and then you could place the handles where you want it now. It's an easy fix. Backsplash, I will backsplash all this. And then I don't think you're gonna want to keep these appliances. Yeah, you don't want these. Ooh, you don't want these. It works though, it's really cold, but I don't know. Remember, you get somebody to come clean it up. In this area here, I don't know. You might want to redo the space. You can if you want to. You open it up and add this here, but then you need space for the fridge, or leave it like this. Maybe add like a cabinet here so it can feel complete, because right now it feels a little incomplete. There's your culprit right here. You see how black the floors are. There was definitely a water issue here. There's a flooding of some sort, probably the dishwasher, and then over there in the laundry room, and I'll show you shortly. But yeah, you got this empty space there anyways. Like, you probably need to rework this whole thing. So you probably need to add a cabinet and then change the countertops. And then that will make it look complete. You have this area here that you see the tracks there. It had tracks, so it has some sort of door here before. Maybe you will keep it open and just add the door there, and I'll show you why. In this area, you have your water heater hidden here. Maybe you just add something there to hide this and keep this open. But it could be reworked a little bit different. All the flooring, of course, needs to be changed. Paint here. I like the shelvings. We'd probably do it a little bit different here. It's the electrical panel. All right. Not labeled. That's good. Okay, so then you could tell that there was an issue here with the washer. So you probably want to change this box altogether. Check if the plumbing issue was ever resolved in there. You need to replace all of that, and then probably just sheetrock it, and then with the new flooring in here. And then this is what I was telling you. So I couldn't even find the light switch for in here. And as you can tell, that you need to change that. So, all right, now we're going to into the bedrooms. Okay, it's just a return because you notice the massive HVAC, everything's together outside. Pantry, not pantry, Lord, linen closet. All of that needs to be cleaned up with fresh paint. There's your only full bath in the house at the moment, but I really have an idea that I can show you in the owner suite. Right. You could keep that tub. You could just refinish that. This here is not very pretty, but you can refinish it. Change the fixtures in there. All the flooring needs to go. Yeah, the wall. Whew. Paint for sure, but easy peasy, easy peasy. The doors here, all of that needs to get done. All right, double pane windows are good. All right, we have here the half bath inside. Well, this will be the owner's suite. Once done, change the vanity. You may be able to reuse that mirror, but you get a prettier one. Honestly, the light is not terrible at the price point, especially later when you sell it. But I would say this is deep enough where you can rework that space and make that a shower. And then just do that and boom, you have a full bath there that quick. Change the flooring, of course. Doors, all the doors need to be replaced. All these doors, I call them rental doors. I don't like them. Usable when you can, but they need to be replaced. All right, this room here smells like body real strong. And either they had pets here just kind of chilling, or just strong odor. So you want to, when you change the flooring in here, we want to make sure that we deodorize the, maybe kilts the concrete pad under it. And then this is the old returns. I don't really like those whenever they look like that. And then I was noticing this, but because I didn't see any real cracks or issues with the foundation outside, I'm thinking that that's more like sheetrock. And then here you paint, of course, good size closet. All right, and let's come over here next. This room doesn't smell that bad, but we do need to do the same thing here and change all of the flooring and paint. Yeah, and then this here was the other things, not alarming, but I figured I saw these little things right here, but I know that just because of the shape of it, that it's not termites. And then also I hit the walls. I didn't hear any sand or anything coming down, so there's no like termite signs. It's just, like poor workmanship if they try to fix some things in the past. You see that. And then down here, I don't know, maybe the dog was chewing on it, they finished breaking it off. Careless kids, you got to replace all of that because I see it everywhere. So all of this framing and everything. Overall, I feel like this house has a lot of potential. Possibly could negotiate this price a little bit more. It's currently at $110, $88 a square foot. Area is currently the last market report. You can go watch it that we did. The video is on YouTube. I can actually link it. And that video, Richmond County, which this is in Richmond County, sells for about $132 per square foot average. So, yep. All right, here we are. Next property. So I see this big tree stump here. I don't really like the location of the water meter there, but that's okay. No big trees in here, but I will say that I was surprised. I expected this one to be nicer than the other house, but I actually like the bones of the last house better. The pictures of these online just look better, but it's not better. All of the fascia and soffit here needs help. If you can see, a lot of paint, weathered wood, even at the bottom, just right over there. All of that needs to be scraped and repainted. All right, let me take you back. We're gonna start on the outside so that quickly, I don't want to bore you. Yeah, I want you to see everything. Still needs some landscaping as well. Gas meter here. I don't love how this looks here. You can tell there's some water in there that it's eroding that wood for sure. It's moldy. Look at this here. Little shingles falling off of that area. This is a big boy too, just like the last house. And it's a pack, heat pack. You can see that just everything's combined there. Gas pack, whatever you call it these days. It is a Ream. I do like that brand. It does not look that old. It looks clean. And yet, obviously get everything inspected. It was cool when I went inside, so it does work. Double pane windows here as well. I will say, same thing, all of this here just needs to be touched up. See that? All of that needs to be touched up, scraped, repainted, touched up. Just, this looks very makeshift to me. I don't love it. All right, so there's no access way here. It's these trees here, the neighbor's tree as well, causing all of this to be lumped up in there. I'll take you out there shortly. I'm gonna look at the sides, and then we're gonna go inside and look in the property. So this property is smaller, 936 square feet. Also a 3-1. I did not see the possibility of making this a 3-2. So you do have this long driveway here as well. There's Winter Springs right there again. This is literally 2 minutes from the other property. It's just in the other side of the street. Neighbors, I love this type of fence right here, vinyl fence. Neighbors take care of their stuff too, so can't really say anything about that. If anything, we are the house that needs help right now. So this needs to be repainted here in the carport. The siding, it's painted dark, but it needs help. And there's a few spots that I saw, not only where they painted it, but there were some spots in the back too that was sticking out that needs to be replaced. Like even this looks very warped here. See that? Yeah. All right, it needs to be pressure washed. A lot of bugs. I opened this up. This is where your laundry room would be in the outside of the home. Later for resale, buyers don't love that. They like the laundry room inside. So just giving you some ideas there. Here you go. This is actually labeled here. That's good. All right, but overall, this entire place does look very makeshift. Very, very makeshift, you see. Just dirty. It's not just because it's dirty, but just because of the wood and, you know, it's not like a real place to put the dryer vent. And then in here, too, the way that they put the washer box. I don't love it. Sorry, y'all. I just came from the gym, so haven't had a chance to change. I didn't want you to miss out on this. But here you are, you see? It needs a lot of work, the siding does. And we have a lot of this that was covered up by the paint. Nails sticking out. So light fixture, you need a new light fixture. Yeah, okay. So this smaller home, it supposedly looks better online, but I feel like it needs just as much work as the other one. And on the market, it's only listed at $10,000 less. So when I compare two things, 936 versus 1,224 square feet, I like the other house better. Here, you see you have some issues with the siding. Here you go. Look like they just had something mounted here. You see this wood piece, and they will latch to prevent people or kids in and out, one of the two. Here you go. You have some obviously siding areas again here, and then you have some the pipe sticking out in there. So it looked like it's almost crawl space, but very thin. And you see the cinder blocks. These are actually cinder blocks in there. Again, you can see here, I hope I'm showing you close enough. These are the things that's standing out to me right now. Just all around the windows. Depends on what your criteria is. But this right here, it just looks to me like maybe they had some plumbing issues because these look fresh. And so they fixed it. They obviously repaired it, but now this is sticking out the outside. And this is a yard. It's a nice yard. It's big. You have to privacy fence it just here in the back because both neighbors pretty much took care of their side. All right, let's take you inside. Yeah, so far the numbers, oh yeah, you have a double gate here on this side. So far numbers to me are looking better for the last house than for this house. You got a water spigot right here. All right. Yeah, you have to update those light fixtures. You have a big step up here. Big step up is a little higher than normal. First come in, all right. The smell also smells like it needs to be air out, but it doesn't smell as bad as the last house. The floor, picture-wise, it looks okay, but it needs to be clean, and there were a few areas where I felt like it was warped. I looked at this, looks like plaster. And then you see that just throughout, but it's not perfect. The workmanship too here, this is all throughout all of the molding. It's just like they just slapped it together. Okay, yeah, all of the shoe molding here will have to be fixed. Lots of spiders and dirt and stuff just need to be cleaned up, that's all. All right. When I look in here, this thing in here, it's actually for your vents, and it runs all the way throughout the middle of the house. I'm glad that they got rid of the doors, because if not, it would have closed everything off. So you can tell that there were doors there, and they just painted. This just your living room immediately as you come in. That's a plus though. All the windows do look new. They just didn't really change or made the framing prettier. You could still tell there's like the holes on it still. They just got conduit for the electricity, and it's outside instead of inside the walls. And then possibly because of the plaster, it's just harder to drill through, and it's not as easy as sheetrock. All right. So actually this is, yeah, it is a LVP. And then you have the tile in here. It's a little crooked, but I don't expect much more than that on a 100K house. Like you said, the layout could be better because you have this entrance here. If you're saying you're thinking about knocking this wall, and you can do anything in real estate, and at the same time, it might be a little bit, let me see. Yeah, because you can do it, but it's a little, some plaster there. And then you have this that you gotta watch for here. And then you have some areas like what you see up there. It's not popcorn ceiling, that's good, right? Yeah, the texture doesn't look very professional, but this is your kitchen, your whole kitchen. And this leads to the outside. We just came from there. That's all your cabinets, and that side of the wall, floating stove. But yeah, reworking this area here will be ideal. Putting that door over here, making that fridge go over there. If possible, that would be the ideal. Okay, yeah, I like that window there. Got those sinks, and yeah, this one's not in as good shape as the other one. It's just crazy because the other one just looks scarier, but I actually would prefer it over this one. All right, let's go. So that was that, and then in here, all of the bedrooms are in this side. Random nook. The other side has the closet. I really think you can open this up a little bit, so it's really a pointless area right there. All right, bedroom. This carpet is not new. It could be cleaned, so you can tell it's just matted here in that area there. And you see you have this here, ceilings here, maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 feet tall. Windows. It's about the same size as the last house. Actually, the bedrooms are not, this bedroom's not that small, but this closet is smaller, and then you have this thing immediately in front of you. And I'm 5'6", this thing is probably about 5'4", you know, down here, and so they made it work. Like I said, this, you see the vent right over it, so it's probably covering like a AC ductwork or something like that. Let's see. So it actually sits here, but then you have that up there. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Next bedroom here. All right. This one's like a similar size to that other one in the other house that had the bad smell. Let's see. Same deal with the closet here. Same thing. What the heck? We gotta get rid of that. Look at that Monitronics security system. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. I get distracted. All right. Yeah. Just, you know, you got little things like outside. You don't pay too much attention, but yeah, you can see that the workmanship is not the best. There's what I was talking about with the flooring. Can you see that? It's just like it warps. It's not laid very well. This is not LVP. This is vinyl. It's not luxury vinyl. It's just vinyl, right? So, all right. Guess they make the space work the best they could. Look at that. It's just maybe some water at some point from there, from the humidity, the moisture from the vents. The AC leaks sometimes. This here, that does not look good at all. Yeah, that's not like subway tile. This is actually fiberglass as well. It just has a better look. I do like that look. But they put this and then they framed it with this wood, which I don't like wood like that surrounding a place where you're gonna have water all the time. It's a tub. It looks in good condition. If anything, good cleaning, good window. Not a good light fixture. Not a good medicine cabinet. Newer. It's just kind of tight there, real close to that. Actually, could have moved a little bit more, and it will still clear the door. All right, so you got little things like this that are not the best. Okay, there is your Honeywell Home thermostat. This is a good thermostat. Actually, could be smart if you program it smart. But yeah, and here is the other bedrooms. No true owner suite. So yeah, there you have it. This is so that you can have access to the tub shower over there. So it's just, they just put a piece of drywall in there and that's it. So I was telling you about the plaster on the other side. So it's just a little bit harder to work imperfections on the walls when you have that. This carpet needs deep cleaning here. But yeah, this is the other property. We'll just go ahead and talk numbers shortly. All right, y'all. So y'all seen the properties with me. I did some quick math and wrote it down so that the video doesn't take forever, since I had to already take you through 2 walkthroughs. But real quickly, if I'm doing the math as an investor, as a flipper, because you have to do the math based on your strategy, whether you're flipping or if you're keeping the property as a rental. If you are flipping the property and you're selling this, you're fixing and renovating it for a profit, then you want to take the ARV, which is the after repair value, what the house can sell for after you fix it up and it's beautiful, and then you're going to multiply that by 0.7, which is 70%. Then once you have that number, then you're going to subtract how much the repairs are going to be. So the ARV times 0.7, 70%, and then minus the repairs, whatever the amount is going to cost you to renovate the house. And then that number is going to give you your MAO, or your maximum allowable offer, which is the most that you will offer for that house. You might want to start a little lower than that, but you wouldn't pass that if you want to make a profit, usually about 20% profit on your investment. Now, if you are renting, then you can spend more, because obviously you're keeping the property and then you have that equity on the home, and you're going to make cash flow every time that your tenant pays the rent. So the math will be a little bit, I personally will still do the math the same. And then just, if I know I'm competing with somebody, I would just offer more to beat them out, because I'm keeping that property, right? And you want to make, on the rental side, like at least a 1% rule, whatever you pay for the property, at least 1% in rent with that. But you got to take into account the repair monies that you are spending on the property. Nevertheless, for my buyer, he's not quite a flipper. He's more of a savvy buyer. He's buying the property and he's going to live in it temporarily, so he can pay more, because he's going to do the repairs and renovate it and live in the property temporarily, and then he's going to sell it eventually, or do something with it, give it to family, investment property that he's going to have somebody inherit or something like that. So with that being said, the numbers run out. I did some quick math, and the ARV for the first property is about 165, 170. But I always like to do my numbers on the conservative end. So 165, you multiply that by 0.7, that gives you 115.5. It's on the market right now for 110. But when you subtract the repairs, which I'm thinking easily could be about $40,000 in that house, then that's about 75,000, 80,000 max will probably be what you should offer for that house, if you are making a 20% profit as a flipper. Now for him, he could probably offer more and he'll be totally fine. Now for the second property, the ARV on that one, the property is only 936 square feet. It's very small. It also do need work though. So I'm thinking ARV for that is about 125, 130. I'll do the numbers on 125. 87.5 will be 70% of that. But when you subtract the repairs, which I'm thinking on that property, even though it wasn't as pretty, I didn't love it, but because it's so small, you probably only need about 25,000, 25 to 30,000 in repairs. But the maximum allowable offer for that one will be about 62,500. ideally, I would still go with property number one. I think that you can make that a 2-bath, and maybe even depending on the whether you go higher in on the finishes, you might be able to get a little bit more than the 165 that I'm calculating. But nevertheless, that's how you do it. That's how you analyze the properties. Y'all stick with us. We're going to keep putting this content out. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you like videos like this, or you can simply just follow us. We have some playlists. We have a investor playlist. That's where this video is going to be housed at. Even though it's a tour, it's more of an investment tour. But we also have property tours, and we have educational content that we put out, and we're here for you. If there's something specific that you would like to know about investments, you can reach out to us, or you can also go in the comments and let us know what type of videos, what type of information would you like to see. Thank you so much. Jasmine Bradley with the Bradley Real Estate Group, your favorite realtor. See you. Peace.